một dòng.
We are so lucky here at Deer Park Monastery. It rained so much yesterday. We haven't had that kind of rain for like almost a year. So we're quite blessed with the rain. And today, it stopped for a little bit when you arrive around 9. And right now, it's very fresh and dry, but still the air is still very fresh. We are invited to sit beautifully with our back straight. come back to the air that's coming into our nose. Yes. And yeah, better? Yes. It's okay. Good. With our back straight. And bring the awareness. Fresh air is coming into our nose. And warm air is coming out to our nose. And also everywhere in our body, air is coming in and air is coming out. We can already practice the smile on our lips. Sometimes, you know what I had learned? Smile does not always have to be beautiful. So smile can be a little bit crooked sometimes. And it's still beautiful to me. So it can be beautiful the way everyone imagines, but it can be beautiful a little bit crooked. It's still beautiful. It's the nature of a smile in whatever state is. So maybe the state of your smile right now, you might not see it. It's not the one that we always remember. It's still very beautiful. So no matter where our state of smile is at, we can smile. We can learn to smile and practice to smile. So now we are invited to smile. Come back to our breathing. Sit with our straight back. And enjoy the moment as we listen to 3 sounds of the bell. Dear most respected teachers, dear noble Sangha, dear our monastic siblings and friends, welcome to our day of mindfulness. I know today is a bit focused on education. How many of us are here for that? How many, raise your hand if you came here with your family. Okay, that's very nice. And how many of you are here because you're interested about education? Okay. And the rest of us are here just because we want to be here. And everyone else. Today we want to honor a little bit all the educators, all the teachers and other people that are supporting education. And our teacher, our teacher has wrote a calligraphy long time ago. Happy teacher will change the world. And it's that word, that happy, that we want to focus on. Because we know that only when we are happy, then we can change the world. Otherwise, we can't do much. Okay? But today, we have brand new calligraphy. So this is the one that our teacher wrote, that I have a copy that's kind of small in a circle. So happy teacher will change the world. And now we only can get copy of our teacher calligraphy. But you can get original copy of this one. What does it say? Happy teachers change the world. So this is fresh out from ink and rice paper. Okay. Happy teacher change the world. So that is available. And when I look at this calligraphy and I look at our teachers, I see it's possible because our teacher has modeled so well how to be a happy teacher and how he had changed the world, how he had benefited all of us, and why we are here today to continue that legacies in our life. So I'm so grateful to have such a teachers, and not only that when he was present physically, but now we continue to look up to him as an example, to be a spiritual teachers, so that we can continue these legacies. But today, I see myself more as a student than any teachers, but because the role that we were in, we sometimes have to play the role of a teacher. Sitting here is playing the role of a teacher, and most of the time I am a student. But we know that whether we are a teacher or a student, it really means the same, because we know the practice of interbeing. A good way to see it is this morning we have practiced walking meditation. And someone had to play the role of the teachers, guiding all of us how to walk. Whether many monastics know how to walk already, but we need to be guided again, because often we forget. We forget why we're here, and we forget what is it to walk peacefully and mindfully. So someone had to play the role of a teacher to remind all of us, to let us know this is how we are going to walk the next hour. And the rest of us play the role of students. And we listen carefully, attentively, so that we can do our best to walk peacefully together with everyone. But we know that when we start the walking, there are many teachers and many students. Because the one in front of us might be the teacher, and the one behind us might be the students. But there's always somebody in front of us and beside us. And there's always somebody behind us and beside us. So at the same time, we are playing the role of the teacher and the students in walking meditations. Even though we might not see it that way, but someone is looking at us. and someone is feeling our peaceful energy. So it's a natural interbeing process that we are playing, whichever role that we take on to play. So today I am playing the role of a teacher, telling you the journeys of a student, how I have been a student, and what was it that made me a happy student? Or at least, what was it that inspired me to be a happy student? So this is a calligraphy written by Brother Phap Dung. So many of you already know him. I don't need to introduce you to Brother Phap Dung. If you don't, then you can ask around. I'm sure it's not difficult. So today, I and the whole Sangha would like to introduce a new calligraphy to our teachers and also to the Sangha. Happy student, change the world. So. And we know it's the same, whether you're a teacher or a student. But because maybe we enjoy being a student more. Here's another one. I'm showing off Brother Phap Dung work. So, here's another big one. Okay? Happy student, change the world. We also have, I say it now before I forget. So what needs to be done has to be done. We also have books in the bookshop. So about how to be a teacher in classroom and maybe some of the lessons you might want to know about. This is to support everyone. It's the most important things, okay? So I do this, and if I make any other mistake, it's okay. So this is Happy Teacher, Change the World. And it's a book that is written a long time ago. And I think some of the monastic and friends are trying to update this book. So maybe very soon you'll get an update one. Okay. And this one is in Vietnamese. For our friends, maybe not here, but in Vietnam or everywhere else, can also. So let me see. Some of my monastics. For the past maybe 6 months, we have a watercolor teacher here. That's also right there. And he came to Clary Hamlet, where the sister stays, and we had learned watercolor together. So it's a very nice treat for us. And often my monastics see me as somebody that like to be creative. So today I will draw a little bit for you. Okay, so this is me, sitting in the middle of the earth. So if you sometimes do sitting meditation, this could also be you, sitting in the middle of the earth. And here are different layers of the earth. Wow. This board is shorter than I imagined. Okay. This is different layer of the earth. And I know that I am made of this body. Yeah. So I exist because I have this body with all the organs that is working inside of me. And my lung is working very well, allowing me to breathe in and breathe out. And my legs is still very happy, allow me to practice walking meditations. Okay. So I exist because my body is well and healthy. Okay. So, and I have feelings. I have feelings. I have feelings of happiness. I have feeling of sad. I have sadness. I have feeling of fears. But when we talk about feelings, we are talking for now, we are only talking about neutral feelings, and we're talking about pleasant feeling and non-pleasant feelings. So this part is just pleasant, non-pleasant, and neutral. So this part, because we know that often, right now, you might have pleasant feelings. If you're smiling, you're probably having pleasant feelings. Okay. If you're a bit agitated in the mind, and maybe your body is not well, so you might have unpleasant feeling. But most of the time, we have neutral feelings, which is, not happy, not sad. But with the awareness of breathing and smiling, we can bring that neutral feeling into pleasant feelings. Or it can go vice versa. If we are focused on our sadness, our anxiety, of the pain that is causing us, and we forget to allow air to come into our body to heal that pain that is inside of us, then we might have unpleasant feelings. So most of the time, we can change a whole lot when we are aware of our breathing and our smilings and what is happening inside of us and around us. We can bring that neutral feeling to pleasant feeling or unpleasant feeling. Okay? So that's also part of us. Besides this body, all the organs that is functioning well in our body, we also have feelings. Neutral, pleasant, non-pleasant. And then we have perceptions. Yeah. This plays a giant role in our life, perceptions. But one of the nice things about perception is allow us to see things as it is. Perception allows us to see that this is an orchid. And this is the bell master, Sister Haijiu. And this is a meditation hall. So perception allows us to see that. So this is why sometimes we talk about mere recognition. We just recognize thing as it is. The first thing about perceptions I think is very important in my path of studying is just recognize thing as it is. This is an orchid flower. This is a bell. This is my sisters. This is my friends. This is a cushion. This is a mat. And not to allow our mind to wander further on. Not to allow this is beautiful flowers, maybe. Just adding another adjective is already changing a whole thing. Very different now. This is an ugly book. Just one adjective is already changing a whole lot in our mind, stream of consciousness. This is a beautiful weather, so that also create the perception begin to run. But what's helpful in our tradition is that when we talk about looking deeply and the process of interbeings and coexistence, that will help us to allow us to see the perceptions clearer, broader, deeper, in the direction that maybe we see an image as a whole. For example, if I hold up this book, this is a book, right? But you sitting down there, you only right now at this moment, you only can see the front of the book. And if I hold up like this, I can see the back of the book. Only when I turn it, then you're able to see the whole book, at least the whole cover of the book. Same thing for me. So the thing about perception is the same. Sometimes, a lot of the time, we only see one side of an object, of the flower, of a book, of an individual. But not until I turn, either I made the action turning, then you'll be able to see a little bit more of the book. Or you have to be the person that walk around the book to see the whole cover of the book. So this is why we can be very humble with our perception. And this is only talking about the cover of the book. I haven't turned the book yet. And the cover of the book is only a very small part of the book. You have to turn the page to see the second page. And then you have to read the text to know what that page is saying, talking. Then you have to understand it. And then you have to look deeply. So many processes. So you see, we have to be super humble with our perceptions. And the first thing we want to do is just to mere recognition. If we don't have the space and time to do anything else, we just do that much. And then when we have more space and time in our life, then we can look deeper into our perceptions. Okay, the next one is mental formation. I should do that again. Tai would not be happy with this kind of writing. Okay. mental formations. So inside of me, there's, well, what made myself is we have body, feelings, pleasant, non-pleasant, neutral, and then we have perceptions, and then we have mental formations. Mental formation is all of the other emotions that exist inside of us, like happiness. Happiness is an emotion. Sadness, fear, solidity, and mindfulness, concentration, insights. They are all mental formations. And there's about 50 mental formation that is running inside of us. Our teacher often share that mental formation, they are like a river that always flowing inside of us. So each mental formation is like a river that's flowing inside of us. And sometimes it flows smoothly, and sometimes it's kind of flow very fast, or sometimes it just stay put. And as a practitioner, we learn to be aware of its process. All the mental formations, all the feeling and emotions that's inside of us, and recognize what is happening inside of us. Okay. And often, all of these, like body, feelings, perception, and mental formation, are also share as rivers, because we know that even though our body looks solid, right? But we know that there's blood and cells that's constantly moving inside of us. And if something is not moving, then we know that that part needs support. So because of that, it's also a river. It's constantly moving and constantly helping us to be healthy. So body is also a river, feelings, perceptions, and mental formation, all those are body of river that continue to run. This is very important to know, because when we are caught in strong emotions, like sadness or anxiety, we know that it continues to move. It's not going to stay there forever, because the natures of feelings and emotions, and also our body, it continues to move. If we know that, then we know that this shall pass. It will, if we take good care of it, it can be better. We will not be stuck in that feelings and emotion all the time. And so the image of the river, it helps. Okay? Then the next one is consciousness. Consciousness. Did I spell right? Okay. One more S. Ah, yes. Consciousness. You know, it's not to say that when you don't write enough, you don't know what it looks like. This is why I have to ask you. So consciousness. So consciousness is like a storehouse that store all of our memories and also all of our experiences. Not only our memory and experiences that exist in this lifetime, but maybe also from our parents, our grandparents. Okay. And often we often talk about it stores seeds. Seeds like, like mustard seeds, apple seeds, the seeds in this consciousness. So it could be in all the C's. Like for example, happiness is a C. It's an image that we try to illustrate so that people can understand better. It's just a visual image to explain what is happening inside of us and how different states of our minds appear in our life, just like a sea. And we know that a sea start with on the earth. So it just stay there. Especially wildflower. Things that are wild, like here we have a lot of wildflower seeds that just stay in the earth. Sometimes very deep, sometimes just on the first surface of the earth. And it stayed there and it wait for conditions to manifest so that it can, and then different state of the seeds will change. So, for example, right now, yesterday it rained a lot. So that is one conditions for a seed to do something, right? So maybe the rain has touched some of the seeds. And the seed absorbed that moisture. And something happened. Maybe the shell got loosened and opened up. So maybe that's what happened to some of the seeds at Deer Park yesterday. And a few years ago, I think it was 2 years ago, where we had rains for like 2 months. 2 months of rain like yesterday. And so many wildflowers that we never see before, never ever see before. It sprouts so beautifully. So it's there and it was waiting for for a long time. A lot of people say about 50 years. Okay? That's what the studies say. So it was waiting there inside the earth for like 50 years. And then these 2 months of rains came. And then it sprouted so that we can see the beautiful flowers, so many different flowers. And we were very lucky to be here to see those flowers. So it took 2 months of heavy rain like yesterday for those flowers to manifest. So it's the same with our feelings and emotions, our mental formations. It's there and it's just waiting. It's waiting for condition to manifest. And this is true, I know it's true with anger. My niece told me something that I have to reflect and like, oh my God, that is so true. She say that, and you probably know this, she say that when you do something so much, it becomes normalized. So that is the conditions. If you do it so much, it will pop up like anger. If you cultivate that so much inside of you, it will just pop up. It become normalized. And anger is part of your life and it's normal. Or sadness, or happiness, or peacefulness. Like here, to be able to feel the peace is very normal to us. But luckily, it's very nice emotion to have. So that's why when you come here and you feel peaceful, it's very normal. Or you feel relaxed, or you feel happy, then it's normal because we cultivate that here every day. Every day. We have it on the schedule. It's so important that we have it on the schedule every day. There are some days I'm like, I'm not going to do that. But because it's on the schedule, I do it. So you see how important, it's so important to us that we have it on the schedule. So it's up to us what kind of conditions that we want to put in so that those manifestations will be normalized in our life. Okay? So this is what made me, is what happening inside of me, my body, my feelings, my perceptions, my mental formation and consciousness. But at least the other half of me is made of everything around me. So if I'm just here by myself and nothing else exists, I would not also be alive as I am right now. And we can see that in eating meditation. We know for sure, without the sun, we will be very cold. We will not be warm enough to survive. Without the food that we eat every day, it's very hard for us to survive for a long time. Same thing with water. Same thing with air. If the air is polluted, we won't be so healthy. So we are also made of what is around us. And this is, when we talk about interbeing, we're talking about this. We interbeing. We exist because also everything else exists in our life. And we know as the families, as the monasteries, we support each other's happiness and peace in our life. So it's very important to know that, because we to understand that and also to put that into heart is allow us to be very humble, because we know we cannot do it alone. There are so many friends and monastics that try to cultivate this school of interbeings. And we as monastic know that without the help of our friends that has been working so hard with loving hands and hard-working work, it would not be possible for us to tell you about school of interbeings, about mindfulness, to have this beautiful space to sit in, where it's very cozy and warm. Yeah. So yes, humbleness is such a beautiful trait to have as a human being. To know that we need to lean on each other's and support each other's for our existence. Okay. Well, okay. I'll share a little bit more, and then we can. I heard there's a beautiful presentation today. After this, so seeds they sprout into, today it will sprout into tree. Tree today will have very small, in my reflection, I want to draw a very tall cedar tree. Today is a small cedar tree. A short cedar tree. Okay? Okay. And then we're going to have oak tree. Big oak tree. We have many big oak tree here. And then maybe a Christmas tree. I love Christmas tree. And it's coming, so a Christmas tree. And last one, maybe a fruit tree. Right now, there's a lot of citrus trees that are in season, I think, like tangerine, and oranges are in season. Okay. And this tree, wow, the cedar is so small. and so short. This tree, it represents a pillar. Each tree represents a pillar. We had learned that as monastics, we need to learn how to play. Can you imagine that? Our teacher told us that we need to know how to play. And it has to be in the schedule, playing. Playing has to be in our life. That's what our teacher told us. So, play. And then he said that we also need to work, like service. We need to, our teachers say that every monastery should have a vegetable garden. Because if you want to eat, you should grow some vegetable. To remind you that food do not fall off from the sky. It's hard labor. So of course, we don't grow everything that we eat here, especially rice and grain. But to have a garden is to remind us the labors that need to put in to have food and also to support us to be healthy. So work. And of course, some of our work is also mindfulness, that too. Then, so work. And then we should study. We should not only study about mindfulness, but also we should study about the world. When we become Dhamma teachers, we are encouraged to study about science and psychology, education, mental health, what is happening in the world right now. We are encouraged to study them, to know about it, so that when we share, we can relate. And also, our insights can also come from studying. But the other part of studying that our teacher often talk about is study in the practice, which means study in our actions, how we live. For example, when someone is practicing walking meditations, it's a study. How to study how people walk. How does that person cultivate peace, in that steps? That inspiration and that aspiration to wanting to learn about peace in that steps. Or when someone is speaking, how does that person speak in such a way where people enjoy so much? What did that individual say? How did that individual smile? Or what is it that individual radiating? Curiosity, that kind of curiosity is maybe a bit more of the study that we are talking about. Because we are more focused on happiness, how to be more happy. So we are curious about all these things, curious how people are happy. And it's a very big part of our studies in our monastic life and as a practitioners. So that is the more important study for us. But we are also encouraged to study about the update of science, healthcare, and psychology, mental health, sometimes music, sometimes art, you know. How do I paint a watercolor scenery and see the interbeings in it? So often I was fascinating with watercolor because I noticed that painting watercolor is really the practice of looking deeply. Because I know in watercolors, I had to learn this, I have to be very patient to wait for the warmth of the sun to make the water dry. And then I have to observe and look deeply how the paint, the pigment, and the water mingle together to get to the location that I wanted. And then, you know, the air in the atmosphere also play a big part. So for me, putting a painting into reality is really a lot about studying the four elements. The four elements: air, water, fire, the sun, the warmth, and then the earth. You know, the earth is the paper. We use different type of papers to paint, and we realize there's only one kind that works well for us. So wood is also very important. So even the process of learning how to paint watercolor is also a deep practice for us, a deep contemplation for us. Study, huh? Wow, study is so small. You know, I imagine the wall like much higher, then I can make it very high and big, rise up. And of course, the last one that why we're all here is the practice. Practice. This is probably should take up a lot of our time, because as a happy persons, we want to put our knowledge into action. And you know, if when we study chemistry or science, same thing with art. It only take, I remember it only take 1 hour of lectures and at least 3 hours in lab, at least, if not more, to do the work that has explained to me. And I remember within those 3 hours, I still don't get it. So you see, it takes many hours to put intellectual into reality. And but with the practice that we're talking about, is not only, for example, this morning, our brothers shared to us about walking meditation. It only takes 15 minutes, maybe. And it takes the Sangha a whole hour just to do it. This is just to do it, huh? Just to do it together. Try to do it together, walking mindfully and peacefully. That is not talking about anything else. Not talking about how do we walk so that we become peaceful, that we become happy, that our step is solid and grounded into the earth. So that hour is just walking together with everyone. But we know that it takes many hours and many sections of practice together and individually by ourselves to make that peaceful steps all the time. So you see, this is why it's on our schedule every day. Ever since I could remember coming to Plum Village Traditions, there's always walking meditation on the schedule. So no matter what happened, there's always walking. And I'm so happy that we continue to do that, because I know it's what I need, and also I know that's what people in the world need. So practice is, your coming here is a great effort. I know some of you come here every Sunday. And I know that is a great effort. Because there's so much happening in the world. There's many options and choices that we can make. But we decide to come here every Sunday. And that is the commitment of practice. We decide to put on the schedule walking meditation every day. That's the commitment that we make, because we know we want to be happy practitioners. So it must be on the schedule. You know you want to be a happy person, so this is why you're here, a peaceful person. So we have to put scheduling into our life. And it might not be enough just to come here every Sunday. Just like us, it might not be enough just to practice walking meditation with the Sangha an hour every day. As an individual, we also learn how to walk to eating, and also away from our residence to the place where we're going to sit. We also learn to practice walking in peace, in happiness. So as an individual, I feel that's what I need to do too. I try to remember, I try to do it all the time. Not all the time, but there were times where I see, walking with the Sangha for 1 hour is not enough. So I need to do it when I have free time too, or when I'm moving from location to another locations. So that might be also something that all of us need to do. Same thing with eating, might as well. We're going to eat anyway. Why not eat in mindfulness and happiness? Okay. There's somehow something else that I need to say before my teacher would not be very happy. Is that, this image, individual image, play, work, study, and practice. You see, it's in different trees. It's just to explain some of the things that we need to schedule into our day. These are some of the things that we need to schedule into our day. And at the monastery, we schedule all this in. You know what's funny? At the monastery, our work is like 2 to 3 hours out of the 8 hours. So when I was reflecting, I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. But I know most of you have to work 8 hours, at least 8 hours a day, right? So it takes up a whole chunk of your... So this is why the spirit of all this, all of them have to be in one. So when we're playing, we know that we are doing service. We know that it's an art of studying, and we know that it's also an art of practice. So even though we might be playing volleyball, which we are doing now, we know that we have to remember our fine manners. our postures. How do we play in a way where we are not pushing people, exclude people, and still bring happiness and joy and create a lot of laughters. And we also know that when we are happy, we are creating siblinghood, sanghahood. We know that those happiness will carry to the next hour of our life. So into being, like we have talked about, I guess in tree, the roots mingle. The roots know how to mingle in trees, okay? So in our practice, the spiritual practice, we know how to mingle all this energy in our whatever that we do. In spirit, we learn to mingle all this aspect. But this is advanced, okay? The first thing that we all can do is to schedule all of this into our day. There must be some kind of hours of practice in our day that's scheduled to remind us this is what needs to be done to be happy, to be a happy person, to be a peaceful person. Huh? And we know that, we don't have to think so much about this because you're probably doing more than enough already. But the playing, the practice, and then the playing and the studying. The playing, why is it so important? Because when we play, we know that it will create this energy of curiosity, inspiration. When we are free and relaxed, there are inspirations and creativities, energy that are happening inside of us. And usually that happens a lot when we're playing. So each of this, it creates a certain energy. So that's something I guess I want to share, is each of this, it creates a certain energy. Like, for example, work is a responsibility. It's a very important energy in our life. We need to be responsible of our actions. So in work, it allows us to cultivate that more clearly. And so in study, it allows us to understand the world more. Understanding is huge. And we want to understand in a way where we include everyone, not in a way where we push people away. So we want to study in that spirit. We bring two people together. And we know that the more we know about the world, the more we will be humble. We see that it's so vast. And what we know is so limited. So we become very humble in our study. So, and the same thing with practice. So, the higher level of this is to see that it mingles. See if you can see that in your life. That these aspects are just images for us to see clearly, but they are interbeings and they coexist in every action that we made. Today, I know it's about education and it's about starting the school. So I thought I end with some stories in the children program that had nourished me so much, and why I had the aspiration to continue this kind of work. To me, our teacher always encourages us to, as monastics, and also friends that come as long-term residents, to build this monastery as a family, to treat each other as a family members. So even those of us monastics left our blood families to come to the spiritual family, we continue to cultivate brotherhood and sisterhood and siblinghood. We continue to care each other's like we would care with someone that we love dearly. And a way of showing that is to include you So when we open a day of mindfulness, we are inviting you to come to our families. And you become part of our family for one day. And when we have retreats, then you become part of our family for like 5 days, one whole week. But now we are expanding our families with the school. So we are expanding our family down the hill because we know that you cannot always come here. And we know that your kid cannot always come here because we have a certain schedules and certain activities that doesn't support your family so much. So the school is an extension of families reaching out down the hill so that more people can be part of this big family that we are trying to create, cultivate. And with I remember that some of the things that move me so much is in this program, the children program in family retreat, are the ability to allow these kids to be free where they are, even just for 4 days, 5 days. So here at Deer Park Monastery, this is, I think, is in 2011. We had a family retreat. Thai was here, and I was part of the children program, helped leading it. And one of the kids is, he's black, and he came with his grandmother. Very shy, but very shy, doesn't talk a lot. He would come to all the activities. But on the last day, when we transmit the 2 promises, we transmit the 5 mindfulness training to the adults, but with kids, we transmit the 2 promises. And usually it's around 9 a.m. So I came into the meditation hall early to set up the hall. And he walked in. I didn't even know that he walked in because he was so peaceful. He walked in, and then he stood next to me. I was just preparing the mat, the cushion, and everything else. It took me a while, like maybe 30 seconds, to realize that he was next to me. So I looked up, and he was dressed up in a nice, beautiful blouse and a pants, and it's all, belt in. Very I was so surprised because I never seen that in the children program before. So I look up because I know he's very shy, so I tried to stay cool. I was like, I was very happy inside, but I was just playing cool, okay. And then he gave me, and at that time I didn't know what was going on. And then he gave me the 2 promises application. And I was like, oh, you want to take the 2 promises? And that had moved me so much. He just does it on his own. He dressed up and he brought the certificate and he went to receive the 2 promises. And this is a very shy kid. And throughout the retreat, he would, and I knew that the seed of compassion was water in him. Because throughout the retreat, he would be very observant. And if anything happened in the program, he would act right away. So one of the days, it rains, and there was this boy, very young boy, maybe 6. He missed his mom so much, and the activity was here. So he cried, and then he just ran off. He just ran off in the rain to find his mom. And so that boy ran after him, just to make sure that he was okay. And you see these images that's happening in front of your face. And it forever imprint those memories in my consciousness. And so part of reaching out to family, to school, I think is allow all this energy that is deep down inside us to to be water so that it can manifest, so that the world can enjoy, the world can benefit. And we need so many of those seeds to be blossom. And it's great to start with the kids because they're so Zen. They are the Zen master. You cannot not be a Zen master to lead a children program because they are all Zen master. They will not wait for you. Whatever they want to do, they will do it. And you just have to let go and follow. So they are Zen master, and they turn us into Zen master to support them. Thank you for coming. We are very happy that you're here. And enjoy the rest of the day. We'll sit again and listen to 3 sound the bells to end today's talk.